Hey YouTube, how are you? So it's my birthday week. I celebrate all week. I started yesterday. So I'll be wearing a different flower every day. Today is pink. Yesterday I think it was like a yellow, a golden yellow color. Anyway, I've been having fun, doing my thing. And I wanted to talk to you about what happened with a customer. And this is kind of business advice too. Anybody in business or planning on going into business, keep this in mind. So at my place of business, I take checks, cash, Visa, MasterCard, Discover. I don't take Amex just because it's expensive, blah, blah, blah. So I took a check from a customer the other day, and she was first going to charge, and she said, "Do you take checks?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I always take checks. I've never had a problem with a check. I think I had a customer's check return one time. But the customer got in so quick and paid it and paid the fees and everything, you know, so it was actually like it really didn't happen. And it was just good to know she was on top of it that much to know that she needed to correct the mistake and did it. So I've never really had problems with checks, so I continue to take them. And I'm still going to take them even after this incident I'm about to talk about. So the customer wrote the check, and during the time when she was writing it and trying on the outfit and everything, she was like, "Oh, my husband's going to be livid, I shouldn't be buying," you know, stuff women say. I go through it too, even though I have a husband, I have a boyfriend. But I'm like, "Oh, I don't want him to see this, I need to hide this, blah, blah, blah." You know, that usual conversation. So she wrote the check, and my bank is her bank, so I went to deposit the check the next day. And they told me that the funds weren't available. So I'm like, okay, cool, I'll call her, you know, let her know, you know, I tried to deposit it but couldn't. And luckily I couldn't deposit it. Luckily it was the same bank, because if I had deposited it and possibly the money hadn't been in there, I would have got a fee, she would have got a fee, and it just, you know, it triples almost the amount of the check you were writing in the beginning, and it's just not worth it. So I called her, I'm like, "Hey, you know, the funds weren't there, let me know a better day I can deposit." Because we're the same bank and they wouldn't deposit it because of the fact that the funds weren't available. So she was like, "Oh, my husband is taking the money out, let me call him." So she calls me back and tells me that her husband's mad at her. She's going to have to return the outfit because the funds aren't in there. He's not going to put the money back. Mind you, I'm going through sale mode right now because we're transitioning from summer to fall. And I'm like, "Well, sweetie, like it says on your receipt, and I told you when you bought the outfit, I don't do returns on sale items. Sale items are final sale, because most likely when you're in a retail situation and things go on sale, you're trying to clear out. You don't want the chance of merchandise coming out, because you're clearing out so new merchandise can come in." So she was like, "Well, I know the next time that money will be available is on the 15th. I said, "Well, do you need me to hold it to the 15th? Because my thing is, let me know what's going on. Since I'm a small business, a private business, you know, I can have a pretty good relationship with the customer as far as customer service, and just you letting me know what's going on, and I know what to do. Because I understand, I'm a shopper, I want to get stuff too. I want my stuff. I may need somebody to hold the check. I haven't done it in a while, but you know, I understand how it is wanting to shop and get your stuff and maybe not having the funds then, even though, you know, maybe that's a sign you shouldn't get it. But I'm still a shopper, so I definitely understand wanting your stuff. So I said, "Well, just let me know and I'll know when to deposit it." So she's like, "Well, the 15th, blah, blah, blah." I said, "Well, let me know what you want to do unless you want to just bring the money back." She said, "Well, I'll call you back." So she didn't call back. So I went back yesterday. Mind you, this was last week. I went back yesterday to the bank to try to deposit because I hadn't heard anything, you know, because she was like she was going to possibly try to get the money in there before the 15th. So, of course, the funds weren't available then. So when I looked at that, I just happened to look at the check closely, which I want to say this is my fault from the beginning, because I should have looked at the check when I got the check that day. And she already had post-dated the check herself for 9/12, because the 12th, I think, is like Friday or Saturday. You know, thinking I'm going to deposit it then, or wanted me to deposit it then so it could hit on the 15th and get the money. See, that's what I mean by pulling stunts, which is the name of this video. You knew you didn't have the money when you wrote that check. I was upfront with you. We had great conversation in the shop. All you had to do was let me know, can either I hold it, because I may have even held stuff, even though I don't like the wholesale items. You know, if you ask me, I may hold it. Or tell me, I want to write this check, but it won't be available to the 15th. You know, and let me decide if I want to be held up by your money. That's all I'm saying. It was a stunt. You had already post-dated that check for the 12th. And the thing about it, it would be different if maybe she had gotten the date or the month wrong. Like if she had possibly written it on 8/12 instead of 9/12, you know, and just forgot to put 8 instead of 9. But considering she wrote that check, let me see, this is now September. I'm going to give you the date she wrote it to let you know that she didn't mess up on the date because of she mixed up the dates. She knew what she was doing. She wrote the check on the in fact, she wrote it on the 26th of August. Yeah, because I was out of the store. Okay, yeah, she wrote it on the 26th of August, and she even put on the check 9/12. So that lets me know she knew what she was doing. Hey, how are you? So I just wanted to let you know about that. So you have to be careful about that in business. Make sure you check your checks, get the dates right, and everything. But you know what? Karma will come back. I'm done with it, you know. Things will be alright with me, but she'll have to deal with that karma. Anyway, thanks for listening. Talk to you later.
Oh,
remember, it's my birthday week. Today is pink.
Oh, okay,
Bye.
sweetie.